99.3 Nigeria Info Lagos. Good morning to you. Welcome to the second part of Dailies today. You can watch the show on Facebook and on YouTube. Nigeria Info 99.3 is how you can watch. Just search for Nigeria Info 99.3 and you'd be able to watch us live. I'm Sheriff Quadry.
Jimi Disu, good morning.
Let's begin. We're going to start with this story here. Front page Daily Trust newspaper. Similar story in the Vanguard as well as Daily Trust. So let's start. Let's take this one in the Trust. U.S. threat. Tinubu responds to Trump. Front page.
Okay, so yesterday we got the first official response of the president to this, what I will call this Trump crisis, and I must commend him for the things that he said and what he said he is about to do. The first indication the president gave was that, look, I won't put it in his words, was like they're going to settle this thing in a very diplomatic manner, which means that there will be no huffing and puffing. I think that is a reality check that the government has got. Events in the past few days have shown that there might be, I'm using my words carefully, there might be efforts put in place to quickly correct the ills or to correct the issues that have led us to this point. Let me read because we have it in all the papers, well, let me read from the Daily Trust, and it says that President Tinubu responded to the threat of a military action in Nigeria by Donald Trump. He assured that his government was engaging with the world diplomatically over the situation between the country and the U.S. So he prefers, and I'm glad he does, that imagine if he was also like Trump. Only God knows where we would be today. So we really must commend him for his matured approach and diplomatic approach. So he said that Nigeria would engage diplomatically. He was speaking yesterday formally on the issue for the first time before the Federal Executive Council meeting in Abuja, and he said the most important thing is the fact that despite the political headwinds and the fear of our people, we will continue to engage with partners. And he says that we are engaging the world diplomatically, and we assure all of you that we will defeat terrorism in this country. The task ahead is immense, and it is our resolve to move forward with unity and purpose, guided by the renewed hope agenda. Politicians will always slot in something, some propaganda. Let's just say we want unity and purpose, whether it's guided by the renewed hope agenda or not. That's not what we are talking about now. But really and truly, I must commend his his approach. Also, I'd like him to caution all those around him, including people who might be associated with them, and not necessarily be government officials, but they're his political associates. People like Femi Fani-Kayode, who said that we should come, we'll fight, we'll do this, we don't need that kind of thing. This is not the time to prove a point. This is the time to take a reality check. Because guess what? I think this man is determined to cause a bit of a rumble in our country. I think because the indications that might be on the cards, just to prove a point. So the Vanguard, the Vanguard talks about. He's saying we are not in panic mode, federal government, and says it has opened discussions with the U.S., which I think was the part of the hidden agenda to draw us in, okay, and then the U.S. will make its demand. You need to look at this thing, like I said before, beyond the issue, so that you have a broader view of what is going on. And I'm glad they have opened discussions, but I would advise President Tinubu to avoid as much as possible any direct one-on-one interaction with Donald Trump. It hasn't gone down well with people who have. He's a nasty person. That I make that make bold. Look at, you can remember what he did to the South African whatever. Even the guy who came and does all he did was speak well. He made an embarrassing issue out of it. So I'd advise that, to the barest minimum, even what might be a private meeting, you can get there and discover that members of the press are there. The guy does the oddest of things. The Vanguard reports that says we are not in panic mode. We have open discussion with the U.S. and we are going to defeat terrorism. But guess what? The U.S. military has drawn up the strike plan against Nigeria, and they have outlined what they call heavy, medium, and light attacks. And part of the story in the trust says that U.S. military draws attack plans on Nigeria. It says that meanwhile the U.S. military has done contingency plans for Nigeria. The options include heavy, medium, and light, each allowing different levels of engagement in Nigeria. The heavy option, considered the most aggressive, would involve deploying an aircraft carrier strike group to the Gulf of Guinea, to launch fighter jets or long-range bombers at militant targets deep inside northern Nigeria. So that would be something like, you would see a sudden flash over you, you know where it's headed. The medium option recommends the use of drone strikes involving MQ-9 Reader and the MQ-1 Predator drones to hit militant camps, convoys, and vehicles. The drones, capable of loitering for hours, would rely on U.S. intelligence for precision attacks. And then the light option, according to the plan, focuses on joint operations with Nigerian forces through intelligence sharing, logistics support, and coordination against Boko Haram and other insurgent groups responsible for attacks, abductions, and bombings. However, this is the part that frightened me. It says, however, Pentagon officials, it was said, privately admitted that limited airstrikes or drone operations will not end what they term Nigeria's complex insurgency without a full-scale campaign similar to Iraq or Afghanistan. Then that one got me. I hope it never comes to that, because if you were to go by these two examples they gave, I'd like you to close your eyes and go to those countries now and see how diverse. In fact, in the case of Iraq, I think we don't even know who is where anymore. The devastation just went across the board. So I hope that doesn't happen. Meanwhile, this might bring some relief. I don't know what Sheriff thinks.